Supreme Court has asked the Uttar Pradesh government not to carry out demolition activities except in accordance with the procedure established by law. It has also granted 3 days' time to the state to demonstrate how the recent demolitions were in compliance with the procedure and with the municipal law. Action will only be in accordance with the law is what the Supreme Court has told the UP government. To get more information on this, we have my colleague Sukirti joining us. Sukirti, take us through those proceedings.
Well, yes. So first we'll just highlight, and at the risk of repeating myself, but significant here about what the Supreme Court has done on these demolitions. One, a notice has been issued to the UP government as well as Prayagraj as well as Kanpur administrations to come up with a response, and that response has to be filed before the next hearing on Tuesday. However, the Supreme Court said that it cannot impose a stay on the demolitions, but at the same time has said that every demolition has to take place in accordance with law. These were oral observations, but very important remarks coming from the top court of the country that every demolition should take place in accordance with law. It cannot be a retaliatory measure. Everybody's safety should be ensured, and one should ensure that nothing untoward happens meanwhile, which means until the next hearing takes place, the UP government should ensure that nothing untoward happens. So no stay, but a sort of advice to the UP government there. Now, what was the UP government's arguments in court? The UP government repeatedly said that it has followed all laws, all rules when it comes to demolitions. Notices were issued much in advance. They pointed out that in the Prayagraj case, they were issued months in advance. In a case pertaining to Kanpur, the first notice was issued 2 years ago, that is in August 2020, and subsequently many other notices after not getting a response. So there has been no illegality there. At the same time, also rubbishing reports and allegations about one particular community being targeted, because lawyers for the petitioners today said that it has become a playbook in this country now that one particular community is targeted. Every time a protest happens somewhere, immediately demolitions start taking place and one community is targeted. The Solicitor General Tushar Mehta said that demolitions have been taking place for a long time now, but never has a community been targeted. The UP government also raised questions on petitioners when it comes to pleas against demolitions by pointing out that in the Delhi case, it was filed by a political party, which in this case was CPM. It was unaffected. None of their properties were demolished. Similarly here, Jamiat Ulema-e-Hind was a petitioner, but none of its properties have been affected. The petitioners pointed out the pattern of demolitions across the country and repeatedly requested the court that there should be a stay on demolitions because they are apprehensive that something could happen this weekend itself before the next hearing takes place. The UP government seems to be in a tearing hurry for demolitions, which is something that the petitioners cannot understand. But the court did not grant that request. But to sum it all up, notices issued to the UP government, so a sort of accountability now being fixed there by asking them to come up with a response. At the same time, important advice to them by saying that it cannot be a retaliatory measure. All very important in light of the fact that the petitioners themselves had pointed out that the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath had said soon after the protest that everybody who's involved in these protests, everybody involved in the violence, their houses will be razed. We will find those who are the culprits, and I've asked the officials to take actions in a way that nobody can do this in future again. Divya.
Right, Sukirti, thank you so much for joining us with all those details. We will keep tracking the story and keep coming back to you for more on that. Well, the top court issuing a notice to the Uttar Pradesh government as far as those demolitions are concerned, saying that it cannot be a retaliatory move. It has to be in accordance to the law. That is what the Supreme Court has put out in a message to the Uttar Pradesh government, clearly putting it out that it cannot be a retaliatory measure, but it has to be in accordance to law, and they have to ensure safety and that they are following the due course of law.